Let's have a look then at the afternoon matches. Here they are. And beginning with Keith Pessall and Bill Burlinson. He too is given his full title by the BBC. And on to the details of Keith Pessall. He's 37 from the St George's Club in Telford. He's a commercial manager, county player, represented his county Shropshire 65 times. His opponent today, Bill Burlinson, 44 from Warrington, and his hometown is Culcheth near Warrington. He's 44, as I say. Played table tennis and snooker before taking up the Crown Green bowling. Right, there they are waiting for us. Keith Pessall against Bill Burlinson. Noel Burrows has moved to the commentary box to join Harry Rigby.
Well, this is another 7th round game between Keith Pessall and Billy Burlinson. Burlinson now leading out to man in green from Warrington. There's his opponent, Keith Pessall. Come a long way to do well in this Waterloo sweepstake from Shropshire, Telford. Very, very good player, this lad. Been up here a few times. Whether he'd be just a bit short on experience on this green, I wouldn't like to say, but he's certainly a good player. Good player, this lad, Burlinson. Plenty of support here. The Warrington lad doesn't live far away from Blackpool.
Burlinson, one.
Burlinson down again. Going fairly long way across the green. Good shot here of the ball. Looks smack on the road, just a little bit on the top side, but it's roundabout. Good lead. Pessall. Off the road. Never looked at it. Just had 2 leads with the jack, Billy Burlinson. Got 1 at the first end, he's got 1 here, and it could be that Pessall might have a bit of difficulty on this mark. Should kick a little bit now, come to the right, slowly round to the jack. Looks it's dragging its feet, this ball. It's got to run, it'll have to keep going. A bit of a chance now. Won it, this. Good ball.
Yeah, good correction there from Keith Pessall. His first ball was a perfect length, but just missed his way across the crown. Well corrected with his second ball.
8:33 Pessall.
Just heard a nice shout there, Noel, from Pessall, 33 to 1.
Well, that's worth a few quid of anybody's money. He's a well-respected player from Telford.
Keep your eye on the green in case there's any carrier pigeons come over with a few bob from Telford strapped to the leg, because they're very attractive odds for a lad who's a regular county player with Shropshire. Just crept in. Pessall now got to improve on his lead here. Got to get past without hitting his own ball. He can make it. Oh,
Just one off it, I think, Harry.
Yes, they lay a bit awkward down all. There's two balls clustered down below here at the bottom. That one at the top's done a bit of a jive, but whether it's counting, I think you may well be right. It looks to be the nearest. There's one here going on card. This is the new one.
Burlinson, 1.
Good lead. Certainly bang on the road this. It'll go right to the jack, this ball. Just a little touch, yes. Shunted it forward. Good ball.
Well, he's got to be up to it here. So he might take the jack.
Tipping this already to go in second place. It might even be the nearest.
Pessall, 2.
Got a double there, the lad from Shropshire.
Keith Pessell just having a think about it. Where to place this jack to make a good lead. About 35 yards, just underneath the crown.
Already tipped that one short and it's died. As soon as it left his hand, the crowd were on it right away. Gave it no chance. Another one here will struggle to get in, but he'll get another. Two alike. She's got them two to beat, Burlinson.
We're going to be slightly awkward here because he's obviously got to play inside the line of Keith Pessell's balls to try and win, and he could easily peg away. Can he pass them? It's a nice little nudge there, right to the jack. Well, this is the longest mark that they've set so far in this match.
Smack on the road, this ball. Start coming away and down to the left a little bit. Down the hill. Almost level. About 45 yards, 50 yards perhaps into this corner. Runs and wins this. Gone in the frame. That's won it. certainly far enough. Oh, just gone through the gap and off the green. A sharp pull over coming up for the winner. Early days yet. Only got about 5 rows on. Oh, still going, still going.
There's quite a slope down there. It's you think you've got one right on the jack, and it keeps going and going and going.
Pessall, 1.
Just a single then to Keith Pessell.
Got the knitting out again. I think things are getting a bit tense there. She just dropped 2 stitches at that last end. Thought it was 2 to her. I hope it's my colour. Yard short.
Not such a bad ball there, Harry. It's quite easy to get off the road. This one's
Looks a bit near where it lies, Noel. Just on the angle there.
That's
But
right.
actually, it is a good ball. It's a yard off, and that one's gone skating through now.
He doesn't like this one. It's not doing so bad.
Got a nice little rub there. It was just beginning to cock away. Wouldn't have come much nearer that. It was already on the bend. But a nice little rub there, just straightened it out. Now they're tipping one here. Tipping this one to go on the card. And in it goes. Good ball that from Billy Burlinson.
Yes, he needed that one. Keith Pessell was just looking to build a little bit of a lead there. As it is, they're level at 9 across.
Just cocked up a little bit. It's a length, but was on the top side, and there's Keith Pessell now. Got to play one inside over to giving this. It's got to miss the jack. It'll go out. Gone drifting down the hill and out. Burlinson again. Pace is nice. Get up to the jack. This will still do a bit yet. And again. Good ball. Can Pessell lick these two? He's got to find a winner. Far enough. Nearly on the card, this clear running. Might get a rub. There. Oh. Kiss Cannon jumped onto the jack.
Good lead from Keith Pessell. Just about a foot short of the jack. Bang in the road.
Give up. Billy Burlinson not over enjoying that ball, because he put it down a little bit lightly. He's just come through now, but it's gone down the hill. I think he's only one.
Only one, Bill.
It was a bad second ball really of Keith Pessell's there. He could have done with being short of the jack again to make it difficult for Bill Burlinson to get through.
On the road with this, Noel.
They're going to catch his short ball.
Yeah, banged it.
Pessal, 1.
Didn't hit it hard enough and in the right direction. 1 to Pessel. Fair lead. Come about 35, 40 yards. He's played one dead level, and now Bill Burlinson. And run away. It's got to run on this ball. And again. Can't win. Certainly give it plenty to do. It's beginning to swing now. It's coming. It gets a lick off that again. He's got another good rub. Oh, he's had 1 or 2 handy little bumps, Noel, hasn't he, Death Lad?
It's lovely when that happens. When it's yours, anyway.
Pessal, 2.
Keith Pessell building up a nice lead. Really, Bill Burlinson hasn't really got near to the jack at all in the last couple of ends.
Well, Pessell's playing you know, some good leads now, but he's also finding that the rubs are going right for him, Noel. Even with the second ball, you know, it's managing to stop in and get a half cannon off the short ball. Saying he's led another good ball again now, this lad. He's playing well, and I think he's getting the rubs as well, and that's going to set Bill Burlinson a few problems.
That's right, he needs to be up to this one. Sitting at the side. Oof. Quite a target there, really. Played his first ball just past the jack.
Another 2 fair balls.
It's got quite a big target there. He must be beaching this. If he can take the jack, could quite possibly get 2 shots for himself.
It's far enough. It's a chance. It's a chance, this. Bottom ball's going. Took it out. Oh, it's very unlucky there, Billy. Hit that ball almost full, but not enough to take it out.
Just a matter of half an inch out there. If he'd have hit the ball full, his own would have stopped dead right next to the jack.
Yes, I think Pessell's turning out to be quite a player now, because apart from the fact that the hits are going right, he's playing very well indeed, and that's for me is quite a formidable combination.
That's right, he's putting Bill Burlinson under all sorts of pressure.
Turned his peg. He's gone upstairs to try and come in on the top side, and he can't. He's off the road. Pessell's about About 2.5 to 3 foot short of the jack. He's coming again, this peg. Trying to find another. Come down, he's cocking up now. Get inside that ball. Counts 2. 2 good woods. Chances. Chances for me, this. Clear running, goes in the frame. Duck. And gone in. Good ball. Had to dig one out there, Noel. It was going a little bit dark for Billy. If he'd have let Pessel count those 2, he'd have been in all sorts of trouble. 17-9 behind, but he comes up with a winner, and now it's Burlinson 10 and Pessel 15.
Yes, Bill's changed his tactics now. He's going some 50 yards, almost into the corner. Just about 4 feet short of the jack. Looks a good pace. Keith Pessall, if he can pass the short ball. Well played. Problems now for Bill. Trying to get through. On the bottom side. Won't come up there.
Pessell's just made his mind up now to come in on the bottom side again. The ball should start swinging down this hill now and running hard and hard again.
Well, Keith, you can kick it and waft it as much as you like. It won't take any notice of you.
Pessall, 2.
Well, Pessall's smiling there because he'd really given that second ball up. So that's the way this game's going. Apart from the fact he's playing a lot of good balls, Pessall, even when he thinks he's a bit wayward and short, it's staggering in and getting another chalk. And that's the sort of problems that Billy Burlinson's got to deal with here. He's not had the best of running in this match, but Pessall's played very, very well.
Oh, it's here again. Right on the jack.
What a front toucher. Them's the best. You can't lick them. Nearly stood one inside the jack there. Wants licking. The crowd already written this one off. Not far enough. Quite impressive in this game, Pessell. Played another in the right place, just behind the jack. Lovely position in case Bill Burlinson comes screaming through. It's nice to have one at the back. He's certainly far enough with this ball. Want to be roundabout, some sort of a chance of being second. Good ball for nothing.
Good saving ball.
1.
Pessell now trying to keep putting in these good leads. Struck a good length and played another one. It's all right. Good ball on that mark. Finger peg going down the hill. Some appreciative spectators there. Good crowd here today. Packed out. Everybody knows where the balls are going. All the experts are here. If you want any tipping, listen to any good tipsters. Listen to them here. Again, Pessel played up to the end again. Played another good ball. Can't be a bad in this. Another good crowd shot there. So all trying to sort the fancies out. Some good prices still flying about.
Pessall.
Left a double, this lad almost up now, 21 up, and Pessel is now 20, and Bill Burlinson from Warrington 10. Well, he wants one for game. Trying to find a good... Oh, what a beautiful road this ball is, and it's going to be short. Absolutely spot on, the road. Died. Died short. Short as a carrot, that ball. He must get up to this jack, Billy Burlinson. Better ball coming. This is the one with the milk in it. There's 20. Lies game. Got to get that out of the way. Might throw one at this. Yes, he struck. Struck. Done it. No. Gone out. Weighed in Pessall. Keith Pessall from Telford in Shropshire has stormed home against Bill Burlinson of Warrington. Just waiting there to confirm the score, but it's 21-10 for Keith Pessall. The lad in red just picking up the timber. And there's the handshake. Billy Burlinson of Warrington has got 10.
Well, all one-way traffic towards the end of that one, wasn't it? Keith Pessall running out an easy winner there by 21-10. The man who has played county bowls for his county Shropshire on no fewer than 65 occasions. So, Noel Burrows, I think it's fair to say that the experienced man there coming through.
I think so, yes. Bill Burlinson never really got to grips with the game. It was close early on, but from 9-inch, Keith Pessall just went away with it, and Bill lost his length and line and everything.
Yes, it was nip and tuck early doors, wasn't it? But
right.
Once Pessall got his nose in front, well, no stopping him, really.
That's right.
And he really did win it quite easily. Now, the first prize, £2,500. Someone will be lifting up the silver trophy and that sort of money on Wednesday. We've seen some good bowls, to be fair, today, haven't we?
Oh, we have, yes. We have. There have been a couple of games that were runaways towards the end, but the competitiveness is there all the time, and everyone's trying their heart out.
Yes, it's a competitive little tournament, this, isn't it? Little not being the word, though. It is the blue ribbon of the sport, isn't it, for those who might be looking in today for the first time, never having experienced the Waterloo before. This is the FA Cup final, the Wembley of the Crown Green bowling world.
It is, and everybody that plays bowls can enter this competition, get the name in, and they start on the long trek. Anybody can get this far. It's a marvellous thing.
Now then, we have some action from the match we've just seen. Keith Pessall were joining it, I think, at the end of the sixth end, and it's the end of the eighth. I'm sorry, it's the eighth end. I beg your pardon. And Pessall here is 2 shots adrift. This really is the moment when the match turned.
That's right, he got a nice little rub off that ball, and from there he just went away with the game. He had one or two of those in the early stages of the game, which must have led Bill Burlinson to think maybe it's not going to be his day.
Yes. You need, to be fair, you need a little bit of luck, don't you, in situations like this to get yourself through?
You certainly do. It's a good percentage of skill, obviously, a high percentage of skill, but there's always going to be that time when a little bit of luck can change the game at a crucial moment, and that was a crucial time.
You just need a little nudge here and there, and the confidence soars, and you're away, aren't you?
That's right. Those balls, they're only 5 inches across, and the jack nearly around about 3 inches, and from 60, 70 yards away, to guarantee that you're going to come up to either one of them is asking a bit much. Sometimes you'll just miss it.
Right. Well, Keith Pessell will be delighted with that, I'm sure. As I say, he's a county bowler, has appeared for his county on 65 occasions. Last time he reached this stage was just 4 years ago, so he knows what it's like to be through perhaps to the next round. He's with us now, Keith Pessell, 37-year-old commercial manager. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy that?
Yes, I think so. I must admit it was quite a harrowing experience waiting to go on the green to start off with, but once I got into the game I put it all behind me and I was okay, yeah.
A harrowing experience walking out there?
Well, no, just waiting, really. Just waiting for that to get on the game. Obviously, I set off around about 9 o'clock this morning from Telford, arrived here about 11 o'clock, and just waited to try to catch the atmosphere if I could, and obviously try not to get too overawed.
You've been watching the other bowlers, obviously. Have you been just picking up any little hints, seeing where the ground is right?
Well, when I first got here, I obviously straight away realised that the green was about 5 yards quicker than it was when I last came here. It's obviously running very well now, and I was very pleased to have the practice for 20 minutes just to pick the pace up.
Right, and once you've done that, quite confident?
Well, I was feeling reasonably comfortable, let's put it like that.
It really does feel like you've got a game on your hands when you get out there, have you? I mean, we talk about, up here, we talk about the electric atmosphere and all that sort of business. It really does get to you.
Well, yes, because for the likes of me, I'm not one of the cracks, as you go to speak, and certainly when you play on the Waterloo and you're the only block on, and you know that everybody's watching you, and as you know, as soon as you bowl the wood, they predict where it's going. In fact, they know more about the wood than I do. Yes, I'm glad it's over, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow now.
Right, well, let us show you the eighth end again. We have just seen this. You're 2 down at this stage, and Noel was just saying you needed a little bit of luck perhaps here, and you got it. Ball coming in, ball coming in. Kiss?
That's right. Well, that's a big bowl, that is, for me. That's from going 2 down to 1 up. Makes a big difference. And I did the right thing. I was up. I was reasonably on the land, and so it was just a question of which way it went.
Breathe a big sigh of relief.
Oh, definitely a big sigh of relief. Put the mat down and get hold of the jack and set the mark.
No, you've had enough pressure to live with in your lifetime.
Oh yes, it still can get to you though. Yeah, I've had it happen to me. The number of times I've played on here, and yet there's been occasions when I've stood on that mat and thought, I'm not sure how hard I've got to send this ball. And that's when it's getting to you.
I bet it is, and we've had a very dry summer, haven't we?
That's right,
Which must make the greens, as Keith was telling us there, totally different from the last time he was here.
Yes, what's tending to happen now is that you're getting a little bit of dew possibly in the mornings. You're getting quite lush parts of a green in the hollows, but on the tops they're still quite bare. So it's very, very difficult to judge to get a length at times.
Keith, you're through. You can breathe a sigh of relief. You can sleep easy in your bed tonight. What's the plan now for you? Do you stay here or are you going home?
No, the plan tonight is that I go home, collect my wife, and both of us will come up tomorrow, and then come win or lose, we'll probably stop a couple of days.
Fingers crossed you might be through to the big money, eh?
That's right. I'd like to make finals day. The dream come true for a Midland bowler, yeah.
I bet it would be. Well, you've looked in good nick so far today. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Here's the result then of that match, with the other matches that are to come this afternoon. Keith Pessell winning by 21 to 10. And the next match then is David Slater against Keith Illingworth. And this is David Slater. He's 36. He comes from Blackburn. His club is the Alexandra. And Keith Illingworth, the man, remember, who played in that memorable final in '76, when he won the Waterloo in the torrential rain. Looks a bit different today than he did in that particular final. 42-year-old from Bamber Bridge in Preston. So Noel, Keith Illingworth, Mike Leach's partner, man with all the experience. Are you going to put your money on him?
I think I must do. He's a lot of experience.
Mike will have a go at you if you don't.
He's a lot of experience here. Yes, Mike would have a go at me. I've got to be very careful what I say about this one. But he's got the experience on here, and I'd fancy him to go through in this time.
David Slater, 15 attempts to get to the last 32.
Well,
Yeah.
you keep trying. I know my father played here for 30-odd years and only ever reached the last 32 once, and yet he was a very good player. It's just how you play on this particular green. Sometimes the best bowlers don't make it.
And there is the man, David Slater. And what thoughts are going through the players' minds as they warm up here now?
Well, the first thing is who's going to win the toss.
Is that crucial?
Well, yes, because the person that wins the toss leads the jack, and he can go send the jack to a part of the green where that he wants to go, and get on maybe a favourite piece of land.
Well, there we are. The toss has been made. Illingworth is the man who leads, and up in the commentary box we have Mike Leach and Harry Wrigley.
Right, this is another 7th round game here, and we have a man here, Keith Illingworth, who's one of the few people in Crown Green bowling that holds the doubles title of the Talbot and Waterloo winner. Perhaps more famous through the Waterloo winner, because I remember Keith featuring in that famous splashdown final. He told me that was the day he learned to swim, actually, because it was so wet. As you could see from the pictures in splashdown, it was unbelievable. There's his first lead, which is quite a good business-like foul, about 2 foot. Illingworth down again, in blue. Playing quite a handy lad here at bowls, Dave Slater. Seen David play in many of the big handicaps around the northwest. Never gives a lot away. A young fella, but a very, very polished player. Again, Illingworth, of course, being one of the left-handed variety. The 4th one we've seen. The other 3 have all lost, so I don't know whether Keith's going to break the sequence.
Keith, I think now will go for the corners. He favours these 2 corners. He's finding it very quick into the corner he's now playing. That really is now the quickest part of the green.
Illingworth down, big swing. Tall fellow, left arm, right through. Played a lot of good games on here in the past as Illingworth, but I'm afraid this is not one of his better leads. Pulled it across. I think he knew that when he'd let it go. He swung his arm up impetuously, and the ball careered away. Better ball coming in now from Slater. Still short, but it's not a bad ball. Illingworth down again. Certainly got the pace right. Can he peg? Is he going to kick away? Might be too far. Goes past the jack. They're beginning to clap, but it might go. Just won it. Ooh, that put the brakes on.
That's an excellent ball on a very difficult mark. Dave Slater would have thought that his wood would count there. He can afford to reach. His own bowl to promote, or Keith's wood to take out. Giving it a chance.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Breaking its neck to stop, but it's gone.
Keith playing these corners. He's playing a peg very few players come into these corners. His thumb. Very difficult mark. Be interested to see if David Slater follows him. Well, so far he does.
Gone in. That's Slater's ball just arriving. Played up Illingworth. He's got to get inside. Just failed to carry then, Illingworth. Half a bang on the ball there. It staggered forward, but just couldn't get enough on it to make it a winner. David Slater.
Knows he's in. Now he can afford to change his peg. No real risk, unless he misses the land. And he's kept it well on the safe side. What an excellent bowl that was. Very important bowl too, because that will have proved to David that his thumb peg is in fact probably the easier peg to get into that corner.
Again, now he's cutting the green in half, going right across the middle, shortening the mark down.
It's a good lead.
Certainly roundabout. A bit close, that, Mike. Keith's played at it. He's certainly far enough. Might hit the jack. Something in the way. Bang. There it goes. Knocked it about a bit. Shot there of Keith Illingworth. And there's David Slater. In yellow, he's 36-year-old medical scientific officer, would you believe? Would the crowd have tipped this to go out, but the peg might just stop it on the bottom. It might pinch another. Got a double.
Illingworth, 2.
I think you'll find that Keith's Woods aren't particularly good runners, which is quite an advantage with the green this quick.
Good ball. Real ball, that. Not an easy mark, this. Down into the bottom corner. Sinking away, that now. Going. Really good ball, that, from Keith Illingworth. Very, very hard ball to beat.
I think he's deceived himself this time. He's a bit too wide. Very important to know whether or not this makes another. If it doesn't, I think Slater will certainly strike. He's asked for information. Terry Ashcroft on the green. He's nominated that it's only one. So we can expect David to play with some pace at this bowl.
Done it.
Done it.
Beautiful strike, that. Cut it out as clean as a whistle. Oh, it's excellent. As the Striking now, he's got to take this ball out, bang on the road, whips it away from the jack and leaves himself one. Wonderful strike, spot on.
Illingworth paying the penalty there for a loose second ball. Needed to get two, would have prevented that from happening. The other thing, as Ian Rigby was saying before lunch, hitting a good strike like that early in the game generally does wonders for your confidence. The question is whether or not David Slater's going to start stringing any leads together.
Gone in. Illingworth stepped in right away there. Slater left him a little bit of room to work in. Done all the work at the previous end, Slater, by cracking that ball off belonging to Illingworth, but then makes a slack lead. Illingworth, hallmark of a good player, in right away. Slater now very disappointed with this ball.
Yes, he's given it back to Illingworth, who will expect to get two here, and he has. At the moment, the difference between the players is Illingworth's getting two off Slater's leads and Slater's only getting one off Illingworth's.
Illingworth now back into the country perhaps, but just cutting it off a little, coming out of the corner a little bit here with the jack. The crowd there wrapped up in this, lad, aren't they? Good match this. Both good players playing good balls, and the crowd really settled down to enjoy it. Got to miss the short ball, just gets round it, he can win. Gone in, good ball. Certainly far enough. Go out this, can't win.
I think Keith was in two minds then as to whether or not to play through at that bowl. He's finished up playing a bowl that was neither one thing nor the other, but I think he's been let off because this has reached. Only one again.
Slater! Whoa.
David Slater, very annoyed with himself. Needs just to relax a fraction, I think, to get back into this game.
Yes, at the end of this, Mike, those chalks are going to really mean something, aren't they? Not getting a double. See, Illingworth came in, first chance he got, played a good ball, got a second. That's what it's all about, this game. You can't afford to miss the chances.
No, that's true, Harry, because when you lose the game at the end, 21-20, you tend to think of what's happened at the last two ends. But really, he can have lost the game at times like this. But now he's made a good lead. Best lead he's made. Well, Keith certainly reached at it. Underneath. Gone out. Now, in the same way that Keith had a time when he had to make two, crucially, David's got the same position here. Must make two. Ideally, if he could put a wood about 2 foot behind the jack, that would be absolutely perfect. Doesn't want them together like that. Yep. Illingworth already indicated he's going to strike. Very good striker. Might hit them both. Done them both.
Spread them all out there like soft cheese. Smack them right in the middle, Illingworth. What a good strike. That was the danger of putting both woods together. Very, very pleased with himself there, Keith. Illingworth got out of trouble. Slater starting to play a little bit, you see, and gets nothing for it. That must be very discouraging, that, for Slater. It's very, very disheartening when you don't count good balls.
Yeah, we've had two examples, very interesting points. One when Keith should have coupled up to prevent Slater from striking, and the other when David did couple up but put them too near, thus making it certain that Illingworth would strike.
Played one. Played one here. Roundabout, good ball this. Just nuzzled the jack, and the jack's about 2 inches away. Illingworth's got to play at this. Try and play a real good one here. On the peg, can nearly win it this if it runs a bit more. He's just short.
Just given up. Good ball though.
Excellent ball there.
8 inches short there on your level.
David given the information by the referee so that he knows how much room he's got to play with. Lot of danger for him, that peg. More likely to change his peg, I would think, here if he wants to try and get another. Well, he's played the same peg. I can only assume he's blocking up, which he is. Tried to put one in the way.
Ah, he's not done it, Mike. He's
No.
pulled it down on the bottom here. He's left the field full there for Illingworth to play.
Well, he won't strike.
Just
But he'll-
play it half through, won't he, here, to just try and... He's missed it, unless he gets a rub.
Slater, 1.
10-12 now. And David just made a couple of good leads, so he'll be feeling a lot more confident now. I think it's clear he's decided that he's going to keep the jack to the middle of the green, which means that if Keith gets in, he's going to have to win 2 ends before he can get into full corners.
Well, the pace looks all right. He might be just a little bit too far. It's beginning to peg a little bit. It's just gone round the back. Illingworth now. A little bit of room to work in here, Keith Illingworth.
Clenched his fist.
Certainly far enough. He's got to be stopping unless he hits the jack full on. It'll help it. One off it. Very well combined that for Illingworth. Could easily have gone through, missing the jack. A little bit pacey down at the bottom there. Well, this is far enough. Another one doing the trip. Is he going to hit the jack? No, he's gone by and gone out. Now Illingworth, big chance of another one here. There it goes. Pick the mat up. Oh, he's far enough. Not on the road. They have missed a chance there. It's done its best to get in. Might have got another.
I think it's a chance of 2 anyway.
Illingworth, 2.
I think Keith gave it a little smile there. Mike, it was just a bit wayward, but the peg pulled it in.
Yes, I think from hand he thought he hadn't made another, but there was a lot of room because he'd moved the jack in that direction when he hit it. And again with an example of him getting 2 off David's lead.
Now he's coming over to the corner here on the bottom left. Perhaps with a view to going right across the green diagonally should he get in at this end. He's a yard short, a big yard. Certainly not pleased with that, Keith. One here with a chance. Clear running, hits nothing, it goes in the frame, this. No doubt. Good ball. Illingworth now got a pass. His own short wood. There it goes, going maybe to the left. They're tipping it, no chance. They've written it off. 66-1. That's the 3rd out of the 3 balls sent.
Now, will David Slater make 2? He needs them badly.
Chance, Mike. chance, might just sneak one under bottom. It's a brace, this, no doubt.
Slater, 2.
Keith kicks him in. David Slater now, 12-14.
Be a bit disappointing that for Illingworth. He was looking for a good lead. He'd have opened up a real gap there. He led one big yard over and paid the penalty.
David Slater now going for the middle of the other side of the green. Obviously didn't fancy going back to the mark where he'd just given 2 away. This, of course, is a quicker side now. He's just played that yard through, just a difference in pace in the running of the green. Keith will be conscious of this.
Way, got to stop. It'll gather speed down there. Gone out.
It's amazing, even when you know that it's quicker there, it still catches the players, even the player with the jack.
Yeah, it's a bit deceptive, isn't it, to play a length down there, because you get a bit of pace where the ball is now. You kick away to the right now, but if it stops a length, it'll be a real good ball, that.
Now this is an important ball, 12-14. Line to be 14 all. Keith's certainly reached.
Oh, it's done. Oh, just started to peg onto the jack, but not enough. It's gone out.
Just 2, Keith. Slater, 2.
Can't say, Harry, that I'm too impressed with these choo-choo sounds that some spectators feel obliged to make when a wood's too far. It's difficult enough playing without that sort of behaviour.
Yeah, perhaps they haven't sent a lot too far in their time, Mike. That's why they get the choo-choos. Played one. Played a good ball. Foot. Very adjacent, really, on this mark. Coming across the middle of the green now. Illingworth looking for him. Might just catch the jack. Rub and onto the ball and counts. Just cast right. A lovely little shave off the jack. Here's another. Here's another one. Just coming in now. Might just go outside that ball. No, it's won it. Well, we've had a real ricochet time at this end. One into one, one on the other. See what Illingworth can do at this. It's tight. Could win it with a dead length. Second.
Slater, 1.
So David Slater just pinching the lead there. 15-14 he leads. Don't worry, we shall be back with this match and we'll keep any of the drama for you for after the news. But now it is time for the latest world news. We go to London and Lisa Davidson.
Good afternoon. The main story is at 3 o'clock. East German refugees are continuing to pour out of Hungary. More than 5,000 people have left since the border was thrown open at midnight, most heading for West Germany.
By dawn, there was a steady stream of tiny East German cars bearing families and groups of young people. Most had driven through the night, scarcely stopping on the way. Their exhaustion, though, was quite overtaken by sheer elation at having reached their destination.
Wir fühlen uns sehr gut. Endlich zu Hause, nach langer Irrfahrt.
They feel at home after a long drive.
Some had friends and relatives waiting for them just inside the border. Most of the refugees were directed first to Wilshofen, a camp with accommodation for almost 1,000. The long queues for registration did not even dent the mood of relief and optimism for the future. Red Cross volunteers had a breakfast of coffee and salami sandwiches waiting. The government has been planning all this for weeks and is determined to make every refugee feel welcome.
The Democrats at their conference in Brighton have voted for a party document on health which would abolish all NHS charges. It would also ban most advertising for alcohol and tobacco.
The Democrats' main priority this week is to stress their own policies to preserve the environment, revive industry and improve the health service. This morning's debate on the NHS stressed the need for extra spending, while accepting the Tories had increased resources.
Operations that were in their infancy, tentatively carried out 10 years ago, are now routine. Medical technology gives us so much more. And what the reaction of people in this country is to all that is we welcome that and we're prepared to pay for that. That's what she's got to understand.
And Paddy Ashdown keeps moving, lifting flagging morale, placating his critics and determined to lead from the front this week.
The first purpose-built city technology college has opened in Nottingham. It's aimed at encouraging more young people to take up scientific and technological careers.
The Genogli City Technology College is no ordinary school. As the first purpose-built CTC, one of 20 the government wants established in inner-city areas, its aim is to encourage children into scientific and technological careers. Its first pupils, who pay no fees, are drawn from all abilities. They'll have a 5-term year, the very latest technical equipment, including a video and compact disc library, and teachers who've signed a no-strike agreement.
Right, you're now...
The Languages and Communications Centre has satellite feeds from TV stations around the world. Other faculties include the Centre for Industrial Studies and Heritage and Communications. Overall, more than half the timetable is devoted to science, maths and technology. It's deliberately experimental.
And the next news is at 10 to 4.
Good afternoon to you. As low pressure continues to push north from France, the weather turning more and more settled over other parts of the country. At the moment, the best of the weather is over Scotland and Northern Ireland, especially northern and western Scotland. Much of England and Wales fairly cloudy. There is some rain, some showers about, even the odd thunderstorm in central parts of Wales. Not an awful lot changing during the course of the afternoon, but there could be 1 or 2 showers beginning to turn up in some parts of southern Ireland and southern Scotland. Temperature-wise, well, the winds are not quite so strong, so it is a little bit more pleasant, though close. The temperature is 22 degrees Celsius in the south, in some parts of the north, around about 17. Overnight tonight, still a good deal of cloud over much of England and Wales, still some showery outbreaks around. In Scotland, more in the way of clouds, so perhaps not a frost tonight.
And welcome back to the Waterloo here in Blackpool. David Slater, 17, Keith Illingworth, 14. Quite a match on our hands here. Illingworth 3-1 on for this match before we began play. Latest odds 6-4 against. Let's rejoin the commentary of Harry Rigby.
I think this is too far. Illingworth's 3 behind, and it looks like 4 behind because Slater's chalked another single. That's 4 singles on the trot.
It's been a dramatic change round. 14-10 down, David Slater. Now 18-14 up and playing really well.
Dave Slater here has come back from 10-14 down to 18-14 in front against Keith Illingworth, the former Waterloo champion. Illingworth now trying to find some decent pound one here. This is a good ball if it pegs, nearly win it. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. Oh, he's a bit... Just went against him there, Keith. Keith Illingworth was just on the peg. That's his ball on the right. And the counting ball is the one in the middle. It's David Slater. Played another. There's nothing wrong with the road here. He's got another here. This is a wonderful, absolutely brilliant ball. He's got to smack them. They're going to get the full treatment, these. Here it comes. Has he done them? Bang! Well, he's 2-1, half a loaf. Left the toucher on.
Slater!
Oh, what a good crack again. There it is. Slater's ball nestling against the jack, but he had a double. Oh, it's absolutely cracking game, this. That's wonderful strike here. He's banged him, hit the two back balls, just missed the counting ball. Wonderful strike. Oh, just pull one out there. Still left Dave Slater counting a single. Slater now looking for the vital balls. He wants two to get out. Actually made a 9 break here, David Slater. Coming from 8-12 at the back. Then he went 10-14 behind. And now it's 19-14 in Slater's favour. He's trying to find one again, and the crowd, they think this one's short. He's played 2 wayward balls here, Slater. Very disappointed. Could have actually tied the match up there. Illingworth in here. Gets a double here. It brings him back in the game very much. Yes, got a brace.
Illingworth.
Like 2 off the Christmas tree then. Gifts for nothing. Slater really missed his chance there. Well, those 2 wayward balls by David Slater could cost him dearly, because Illingworth's in now. He's only 3 behind, 16 Illingworth, 19 Slater. And Illingworth plays one in the corner, and there's David Slater. Only wants 2 for game. Certainly far enough. Clear running, it goes out. Almost go in the box. Illingworth now fighting for his life here. This one's far enough. Far enough. Oh, that's gone by, but still counts. Slater's got to find one here. Going down the hill. Watch it peg a little bit. The crowd's starting to murmur. It's got some sort of a chance, this. Just gone.
Illingworth. Well.
Just went out. Illingworth was mightily relieved there to see that ball go gliding past. Pressure's on now in this game. Illingworth knows he's been almost shown the door once by this young man Slater. 19-14 at the back, and now he's really back in this game. He's just pinched 3 chalks, double and a single. Got to find one. Certainly far enough, this. But some sort of a chance. Some sort of a chance if it can stop. Go a bit yet. It's gone out for me, that.
Just gone.
Just whipped its way around the back to Slater. He was almost certain, I think, that ball had won it. That's the one just at the bottom of the jack on your screen. Here's Illingworth looking for another. Doesn't want to hit the jack. Might be 2. Sent one here. Thinks it's a chance. thinks it's a bit of a chance. It's to par for me, missing all. Gone out. He's just flicked the jack over. Well, would you believe that? Oh, that was a fortunate ball. Ooh, that was a lovely little lick there for David Slater. Wants a good lead. He's played a lot of good balls on this mark in the afternoon, but he needs one now. They don't count for anything if he plays a wayward ball here, but this is coming round about, wants to run again and again. Still coming. Fair ball. Ooh, what's some sort of a chance? If there's any peg in these balls, it could nearly win it, this. It's nearly won it for me, that. It's worth a look. Illingworth's ball on the right. As the referee, a good quarter looking at. He fancies Slater's ball. He's not given a decision. Slater's got the referee's nod here on this end. It thinks he's on. Surprised if Keith Illingworth doesn't want a bit more information. No, he's playing. Got to do something with this. He's up the top side. It's all over if the referee's right. I think these are going to be measured. Very, very close this end. It's goodbye here for Keith Illingworth. Have a look at the end. Yes, he's shaking hands. He's accepted it without any argument. And now David Slater come from way behind to beat Keith Illingworth of Preston 21-17. And David Slater's done a marvellous job here because he was in all sorts of trouble at 14-10 in arrears and then galloped up to 19-14 in front, then got a 1 and a 2 and got out.
Fabulous match that, wasn't it? David Slater coming through, and so that means that a former winner of the competition, Keith Illingworth, winner in 1976 in that famous final in the water, goes out of this year's competition. Well, there'll be a very sad gentleman sitting alongside me, I'm sure, because Mike Leach is Keith Illingworth's partner, but still you managed to smile. It was a great game.
It was a good game. Keith will be disappointed to lose because it looked like he had the game won at 14-10, well in command. And David's played really well to go ahead 19-14.
And he's rattled off a 9 break there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and played them very near. Caught Keith as well with the pace of the green, going the quick way and back the slow way.
Now, I think a significant end came at the 8th end, and we can see it now.
Well, up till this time, David really hadn't been leading well at all. And then he at last made a good lead, and he coupled up. And the trouble was, he put his second wood too near. He'd have much rather had one a yard behind, because once he put it that near, and you can see he's not pleased with it, once he put it that near, it was inevitable Illingworth would strike, and there he did, cleared the end.
And that was a void end, and so it was a morale-boosting victory there to Keith Illingworth.
Well, it was, but the point was that David at last had started to lead well, and he went on and began to lead a lot better after that, so he didn't let it rattle him. That's the crucial thing.
Now, you've been a little bit critical on commentary of some of the noises we're hearing from around the arena here.
Yes, I don't like it. I don't like this choo-choo sound that some of the crowd decide to make.
Choo-choo meaning it's
I think they mean the wood's going like a train. Yes. That's what they're trying to say. But the bowler doesn't need telling that, and it's offensive to the player. And I don't think it would be allowed at other sports. We wouldn't allow it at the Crucible.
No, that's right. That's true. And it obviously must put them off, I would think.
Well, it would put me off if I was playing. It depends how good your concentration is. But it's very distressing to play a bad wood in front of everybody, and you don't need it rubbing in.
Well, the lads certainly maintained their concentration, and we move now to the 19th end, and this, I think, the moment when perhaps David Slater knew he was in the money here.
Well, yes, it's very tight here, you see. Keith's got to 17-19. He's gone for the corners, he lies in with one, and David Slater's played through. If he makes a full connection with the ball, he's game. but he just clips it, and you can see the way Keith turns away, how disgusted he is that it didn't just miss it and leave him in.
Didn't look too happy there, did he?
No, he didn't. I wouldn't have been either.
What was going through his mind there, do you think? That's it?
Well, he wouldn't be thinking that's it, but it was so crucial because it's a difference between 18-19 and his jack and 20-17 and his opponent's jack. So it was a big bowl that David played there.
And it certainly puts the pressure on him, doesn't it? 20-17.
It did indeed.
One slip and he's out, and of course that was the situation.
That's true, and that's what happened.
OK, let's have a look then at how that affects the afternoon session so far. There it is. Keith Pessell getting through earlier on, and David Slater beating former champion Keith Illingworth by 21-17, but some excellent bowls played by both players. And hammer his advantage home. Well done to him. And here are the two gentlemen who have just served up such a splendid game. David, first of all to you, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
15 attempts to get to the last 32.
Yes.
Enjoy the moment?
I am very much, yes. Yeah. In fact, last year I didn't join it because I haven't been playing the green terribly well. And my father said to me, give it another crack, and that's what I'm doing.
14-10 down. Backs to the wall,
yep.
And then you rolled off 9 on the run.
Well, I'd been thinking about the game all week, and I'd decided that I would go round peg with Keith on about a 25, 27 yard mark, and I got in. Unfortunately, I played reasonably well coming towards the crowd at this side, but not as well going away from them. But fortunately, Keith was just a little bit worse than me.
Keith, we must say commiserations, winner here in 76. It was just one of those days for you, I think.
It was, yes. I think David really did it in the centre of the game. It was, I think when I played in this corner here and played too short, that's when he got in and he found that mark across the middle, which was very quick, one way, wasn't it? Yeah. And then coming back that little bit stiffer, and he played it very, very well. And he gave me a chance at one end, and I grouped it all together, completely missed.
We were just talking to Mike Leach before about that 19th end.
Yes.
When he went 20-17, you looked as though you wanted the ground to swallow you up there, and you wanted to get off.
Yes, it was he just played a reach. I don't know whether it was intended or not, whether he played a length, but it clipped the block, sent it the other way. If he did it the other side, I count 2. It's one of those things of bowling.
Yeah. Inches in it, aren't they?
Inches, yeah.
Keith, look at that monitor there. We've got a little surprise for you, I think.
Oh no, not.
Do you remember those days?
No, I don't. I'm trying to forget those.
Now,
days.
I'm not so sure that was the rain that affected your hair there.
It was the rain, definitely. It does grow 3 inches when you get it wet.
My word, how times have changed, because look at him today. Well, which do you prefer?
I'm younger now.
Yes?
Yeah,
You actually, younger. Isn't it amazing? You look a lot younger, don't you?
Yeah.
A little grey around the temples, perhaps, but... but you've given us lots of fun and lots of entertainment in that game. Do you manage to enjoy it, even in defeat?
Oh yes, once you've come off. You don't enjoy it when you're on, you're losing and the crowd's going at you a little bit. When you come off, it's forgotten straight away.
What about this business that Mike's been talking about, the choo-choo noises from the crowd? Do they get on your nerves a bit, or do you manage to block out the noise from the crowd?
You get, well, over the years you get used to it, but yes, it's off-putting to the player that's struggling. It's hard enough out there without that. And
Sure it is.
But I'm sure it'll never get stopped, so you've got to live with it.
There's so much money running on you, that's the thing, you see.
Yes, this is it, yes. And there's half of them for you, half against, and if you're behind them, the half that against give you some stick.
David, I suppose that is a great scalp for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Just take one at a time. Just hope that you play well against your next opponent. Unfortunately, I played well today.
Do you fancy
well,
chances?
Only time will tell.
Because you now face Keith Pessall, as we can see there, in the next round. Another good winner here. Did you watch him?
Yes, I did. I was very impressed, actually. Got my work cut out tomorrow.
Early night tonight, eh?
Yeah.
No time for celebrating, even though you've got the great scalp here.
No, there's another 2 days, hopefully.
I'm sure. Well, keep your fingers crossed for you, and all the very best. Do you fancy he's going to win it?
I think he's got a great chance, yes. If he plays like he did in the centre of the game, then he started off led bad, but when he got it together, he did play well. And it's not an easy mark he plays across there. It's every chance.
Well, commiserations to you. Congratulations to you, David. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, here's the afternoon's results then. So far, 21-10, Keith Pessell, David Slater. It doesn't make good reading for Keith, but he is through to the round of the last 16. And now we have Barry Henstead against Ken Armitage. Barry Henstead, a runner-up in 1983, 42 years old. He's been bowling, you know, since he was 8. His home ground is Wigan. His club is the Alexandra Park. And he's playing Ken Armitage, 50-year-old, a man who's been bowling for half his life. He is from Bruges near Warrington, and the King and Queen and the Waterloo clubs. We're out on the green here at the Waterloo. So let's go to the commentary box. Harry Rigby is joined this time by Noel Burrows.
Barry Henstead, former runner-up in the Waterloo. He hails from Wigan in red, starting this match by setting the first mark, and there behind him in green is Warrington's Kenny Armitage. Oh, what a great start. God, there's Kenny Armitage, his opponent in green, well-known player in the Warrington area, excellent competitor, certainly doesn't relish having to lick those sort of balls. He's played a little bit sharp. Good start here from Barry Henstead, who's highly rated in the Waterloo. Lost in the final in 1983 with Stan Frith from Northwich, and just plattered to at the side of the jack. Shaking his head now, he knows they're too near. Armitage has got to crack these. He's going to fire one. Here it comes. Chances of a bang. Done it. Ooh, unlucky. Unlucky, connected. And just left Henstead with one. It's a really good end there. 2 good balls from Henstead, and here's Armitage, not going to leave him there. Tries to get him out here. Watch the effect. Bang. Kisses into one and leaves Barry Henstead a single.
Kenny Armitage slightly unfortunate there. He could quite easily have taken both of those balls out and left himself with a single. Barry Henstead, one of his favourite marks, long sweeping mark across the crown, pegging down to the north stand.
Yeah, another good lead and all, you know. Funny thing is, Noel, after we've just had that, we've just sustained an epidemic of left-handers. We're back, I feel a bit strange now, we're back to right-handers again. And all the left-hand men have been licked.
That's right, every one of them.
Andy said he's now wrong with left-handers. Can't win. That's what's up with them. But seriously, you know, they're back on the green, on the mark. Henstead now. Lovely delivery. He always gives it a little wave, if you notice, when he lets the ball go. A double kick with his hand, just to sort of give it a little bit of help on its way. Played another. Roundabout. Now give it quiet. Said nothing yet. Still got to run. I don't think it's going to count anything, this. Third prize.
Henstead, 2.
Kenny Armitage there didn't fancy following the line that Barry Henstead had sent. He changed his peg with both balls, but really didn't have any effect.
Henstead again, coming deep. The mark, thumb peg mark across the green. Henstead, who's, say, runner-up in the Waterloo, he's now 42. Been bowling for 34 years, would you believe? Oh, it's better than running errands for his mother, anyway. Here's Kenny Armitage. It's 50. Coming down now. Good ball. There's Armitage on his way back. Another player that plays with the King and Queen club at Warrington and the Waterloo Blackpool. Henstead thinks this is some sort of a chance. Can't go out this. Reelan. Oh, good ball there from Barry Henstead.
Well, I think he's got to take a chance here. He's got a chance knocking the jack.
Struck. Done it, searching. Oh, what an unlucky hit. Oh, that's unbelievable. What a stroke there. Armitage must be really wondering what he's got to do.
Well, that was cruel, absolutely.
Oh, he's played it. What did he do there? I mean, he's struck now, Armitage. He's trying to get him out. Perfect strike this. Hits dead right. Watch it, the rub. Rubs it, but the wrong way. Cuts it in the side pocket and leaves himself 2 down. Good ball. Not been lucky, Armitage. He struck twice and hit twice, and the whole thing's gone wrong on him. He could have easily have got 3 out of the end. So there's the handshake. You notice when he sends it, Henstead just gives a quick imaginary handshake just to wave it on its way. Watch him next time he sends it out. We can perhaps pick that up and have a look. Always does it. Armitage now looking to play a gooder. Got it away nice. Hits the short ball. It might promote it. Full on, it can do it. And he's unlucky again, I think. No, he's done the trick this time. It's turned. Well, nobody can begrudge him that one. He's played some good balls, Armitage. He's got nothing out of it, and now he's just promoted one himself and got a single.
Kenny Armitage now shortening the length by a good 10 yards. Finger peg across the crown.
Might rub the jack. Rubbed it right. Might just turn the corner a bit now for this lad. He's having a few rubs, but he's been missing out on the early ones. Is it going through the gap, picking the jack up? Oh dear.
Gone out. Yeah, you're on, Ken.
Just gone. The referee there, Terry Ashcroft, giving Armitage the good news. Played another here. Second, this will be first ball when it's finished. This good ball.
I think Barry Henstead will be firing at these. Could possibly take both of them out. He's not.
He's played one at it. He's played it a bit tight on the road. This is a good ball. This he might just miss the jack. He's gone out now. Won't count.
Armitage, 2.
No, I think I would have been firing at those, Harry. Kenny Armitage clawing his way back into this game.
What a difference it makes, Noel, when he can just, you know, get hold of that jack for a couple of ends, just to get the pace of the green right, you know, and swing it out and get the delivery going. A nice player, this fella Armitage. Once he gets his game going, one of the best in the game. See, plants him a bit near this lad. Played another reeling. Ooh. That's what you call a real close-up. Tight. Tight. He's going in the bottom. Gone. Put it in the right place, just to the side and slightly to the back. Armitage looking to cover it up here or play another ball, counting ball in the road, preferably. I think Henstead might have a whip at this one now. He can shunt that jack back over the back. No, he's played. He's played. I don't see what the spell can do, really. Be a miracle ball, this, if it counts anything. Miracle ball, if it counts. Gone out.
Armitage, 1.
What do you think of that end there? Don't you think, what would you have done, Noel? Considering the fact that I might not have backed you on that particular day, because you usually did all the wrong things then.
No, on that occasion, I think he did the right thing. Kenny was lying with 2 shots. The chances of him, of Barry Henstead actually taking the jack were a little bit slim there, and he played to save, cutting the count down from 2 to 1.
What a good ball here. If he just runs that little bit, he's just left it short. Just gone.
Just gone out.
Armitage down again. Lovely road. Pace is absolutely right here. Passes his short ball, he get on top of the jack with this. Good ball. Try and fish it. He can fish this one out if he's got enough speed to get past that. She made 2.
Armitage, 2.
Took the lead now, Armitage. Losing 10-5 at one stage, now goes in front. 11-10. Crowd shot there. I see that man was outnumbered there, 2 to 1 with the ladies, so he won't have too much to say about who's on. Played another. Not a daft ball. It looks on top of the jack nearly there, but it is almost a yard away. Got to pass it. He made it nearer. Now the knock's going the other way a little. Both played well, these two lads, Noel, haven't they, so far? I mean, Henstead set off like a train, but Armitage now playing these marks really well.
Yes, the last few ends, Kenny Armitage has really wrapped them round the jack. Barry Henstead's going to have to pull out a good ball here. Sliding past.
Armitage, 2.
Armitage again milking this mark across the middle. He really likes this piece. About 28, 30 yards, no more. Thumb peg mark coming out. Ball swinging now down to the left. Kicking a minute towards the jack. Down. Bit more. Run on. Left a little bit of room this time.
Just slightly uphill coming this way. You just need to push it that extra yard.
Oh, played one. What a good ball. Full applause there.
Can you? And that's 6 inches, you're a bare yard.
The chance that Armitage might turn his peg round, turn the ball the other way. No, he's played the same ball, trying to get the jack out. Got to run, won't reach. Won't reach. Oh, I think Ken would be very disappointed with that. Henstead now looking for a double here. But he's motoring, really motoring to go out this.
Henstead, 1.
Kenny Armitage will be very disappointed, particularly with his second ball there. So the cardinal sin in bowls is being short when your opponent's in.
Henstead now into the country, right down the bottom corner. If he gets in here, it looks almost certain that Armitage is going to go on a long trip on the way back. Left room, not a good lead. Certainly better pace. Certainly better pace. Might just about creep in this. It's gone in. But as saying give up, well, it's a bit awkward lie from here. Smack on the road this time. He'll go right between now. Come to the jack. Good ball.
Well, Kenny can just follow that in now.
Bit of a chance this. Almost the winner this. Might get hold of the jack and win. I think it's going to get a big round. Or does it give up? Yes, it's drawn it. Good ball.
Kenny Armitage coming back to this particular piece of land that he's played so well on. Finger peg. 35 yards. And he's played again.
Cracker. It's a big pegging mark this, and Armitage couldn't be blamed if he thought that he wouldn't get that lead licked. But Henstead's played a reel, and Armitage has played another here if he can run. He's short. Oh, what a road.
Yeah, bad ball from Kenny, and he knows it.
Well, if he's got another here, these have been the best 2 bells of the day. He couldn't get another there, surely.
1.
Incidentally, Harry, there's been a phone call from a lady who says that she doesn't like you saying short as a carrot. She says she's seen carrots that are half a mile long.
She's very lucky, isn't she? Yeah. I don't know where she grows them, but I'd like to certainly see one. By.
Did it a lot of good. Right smile there from Kenny Armitage.
Hits it fully, makes it. No, he's just cocked it half ball and gone by. Armitage keeping well away. Could peg at the finish and sneak another bit of length. He's trying to get two. Nearly done it.
Armitage.
Just give up. Short. Might not get a clear run this. I think there might be something in the way, but it's just passed and won it. Good ball. Here's Kenny Armitage now. The Warrington lad running after this. Wants to get it up to the end. It's on the peg. It may not win now. Might get a lodger. Oh, I think it's just gone. He knows it's gone out, Armitage. He was hoping to get a little lick off that side ball. There's Henstead giving it the usual Henstead wave. Yes, got a brace.
Henstead.
Oh, two good balls. Well, it's hanging out, this ball. It's certainly done its best. The crowd have appreciated that. It's not an easy mark. And down the hill here. She start to kick in a minute and come across now. But he's travelling, doing the trip, this. Now it's moving. Henstead now back in this match to some tune. He's 14, Armitage 15, 21 up. He's trying to get it down the hill. Mike's got another. Got to find one here, Armitage. Got to find one. It might go through the gap, this. Misses the jack, it'll go out. Waving it away, Henstead. He's got a double out of this.
Henstead.
It's one of the characteristics of the Crown Green game. You wave your opponent's ball out. You don't do that in the flat green game. Definitely wouldn't be a ticket.
Have to might stand you in the corner with a hat on saying D on it. Don't wave. Just one of those things. It's an expression because they enjoy the game.
That's right.
They don't, interfere with the balls in any way, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's only a lump of wood, and it won't take any notice of you, whatever you do at it, will it really? Unless you kick it. But seriously, no, it was he's come right back now, Henstead, after looking as though he was going to get done. Now he's played another great ball here. This has been an excellent match for me. Armitage has played well in patches here in the middle of the game. He's plattered some balls across this middle, but now he's suffering a bit because Henstead is beginning to play. There's the wave. He just wags his arm every time he sends the ball. He just gives it a little bye-bye. Played another, two good balls. Counts these two. There he is, giving it another wave even. Can he run? Can it get there? It's on a beautiful road, this ball. It's nearly won it, this. It's won it. What a ball.
That's a great ball.
What a wonderful wood that from Armitage. Came in, played an absolute dead-un. Back again, Armitage across this middle. He knows this is a real dogfight now to the finish. They want 5 apiece. He's played one. Played one. There's a big crowd there. It's really wrapped up in this game. Won it. It's won it, this. That's won it for me. Got to find another one here, Armitage, and he's too far. Hits the jack, he can only push it. It's gone out, this. Played a cracking ball here, Henstead. This has been a great match for me. Let him off, he's only one. Doesn't matter what you do with that, it won't come any nearer. Pick it up, Henstead. Short.
(17-16), so that match is really bubbling up to quite a finish, isn't it? And don't worry, we're going away for the news in a few moments' time, but we shall be back with you for the climax of this match, Barry Henstead against Ken Armitage. It's turning out to be one of the best matches of the day, and it's been a day of some games, hasn't it, Mike Leach? We've had some great entertainment, and here's another one.
Oh yeah, this is certainly bubbling up into a tremendous finish, and it's been a marvellous day's play so far.
17-16 to Barry Henstead. That's the latest score. That's the way of things so far today. Just one more match to come later on this afternoon. So don't forget, we shall be back with you after the news for the climax of this exciting match. It's national and regional news though this time. And first to the national newsroom in London and Lisa Davidson again.
Good afternoon from the newsroom, the main stories. East German refugees are continuing to pour out of Hungary. More than 5,000 have left since the border was thrown open at midnight, most heading for West Germany.
By dawn, there was a steady stream of tiny East German cars bearing families and groups of young people. Most had driven through the night, scarcely stopping on the way. Their exhaustion, though, was quite overtaken by sheer elation at having reached their destination.
Wir fühlen uns sehr gut. Endlich zu Hause, nach langer Irrfahrt.
They feel at home after a long drive.
Some had friends and relatives waiting for them just inside the border. Most of the refugees were directed first to Wilshofen, a camp with accommodation for almost 1,000. The long queues for registration did not even dent the mood of relief and optimism for the future. Red Cross volunteers had a breakfast of coffee and salami sandwiches waiting. The government has been planning all this for weeks and is determined to make every refugee feel welcome.
The condition of the East German leader is reported to have worsened considerably. Erich Honecker, who's 77, has been ill for some time. He's reported to have cancer. 2 soldiers in the Ulster Defence Regiment and another man have appeared in court charged with murder. The 3 were accused of killing Lachlan McGill, a Catholic, at his home in County Down on August the 25th. One of the soldiers was also charged with the murder in June of a Catholic barman, Leon McKee, in Lisbon. Unions representing 19,000 ambulance workers are holding exploratory talks about their pay dispute. They've rejected an offer of 6.5% and are due to start a national overtime ban on Thursday. The unions are meeting at the offices of the Conciliation Service ACAS. Management are not involved at this stage. The first purpose-built city technology college has opened in Nottingham. It's aimed at encouraging more young people to take up scientific or technological careers.
The Genogli City Technology College is no ordinary school. As the first purpose-built CTC, one of 20 the government wants established in inner-city areas. Its aim is to encourage children into scientific and technological careers. Its first pupils, who pay no fees, are drawn from all abilities. They'll have a 5-term year, the very latest technical equipment, including a video and compact disc library, and teachers who've signed a no-strike agreement.
Right, now you'll now sit...
The Languages and Communications Centre has satellite feeds from TV stations around the world. Other faculties include the Centre for Industrial Studies and Heritage and Communications. Overall, more than half the timetable is devoted to science, maths and technology. It's deliberately experimental.
And that's all from me for today. The next news is at 6 o'clock on BBC One with John Humphreys and Andrew Harvey.
Good afternoon to you. The weather is slowly but surely turning much more unsettled. Even in parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland where they're having some beautiful weather, the weather will turn more unsettled over the next couple of days. There are 1 or 2 heavy showers pushing through central Wales and parts of the south and southwest, but that's where it's at warmest. The temperatures are up to 21 degrees Celsius. Later today there'll be showers breaking out in some parts of southern Ireland. There could even be the odd one in southern Scotland, otherwise not much change. Overnight tonight, a good deal of cloud. There'll still be drizzly rain around the eastern coast, 1 or 2 heavier bursts perhaps in places, clear slots leading to 1 or 2 mist and fog patches in the south. The temperatures tonight mostly mild, but in central parts of Scotland we could find the temperature drop to around about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. That's it from me. Good afternoon to you.
Now, BBC Two News Northwest. Good afternoon, and first the headlines from around the region. The Prime Minister, Mrs Thatcher, has been visiting Cumbria. The Greater Manchester Police Authority is discussing Peter Topping's autobiography, and Blackburn Council is reviewing security after Friday's arson attack on the Town Hall. The Prime Minister, Mrs Thatcher, has been visiting Cumbria. She presented the Cumbrian newspaper's Export Award at Wetherall near Carlisle. During her short visit, Mrs Thatcher told local businessmen about the dangers of high pay settlements. She said it was a lesson which once seemed learned, but was now in danger of being forgotten. Greater Manchester Police Authority is holding a special meeting to discuss the autobiography of the former Detective Superintendent Peter Topping. The authority will consider a report which concludes that the book breaches confidence and copyright. It gives previously unreleased details of his investigation of the Moors murders 2 years ago. Last week, the police authority issued a writ against Mr Topping. 4 Wirral men were granted bail by Birkenhead magistrates when they appeared, each facing 2 charges of conspiring to deliver and make $2 million counterfeit dollars. Graham John, aged 36, from Bebington, 34-year-old Geoffrey Newman of Thingwall, Ian Johnson, aged 28, of Heswall, and 60-year-old James Newman of Wallasey, each had to provide 2 sureties totalling £10,000. They were also ordered to surrender their passports and report to the police 3 times weekly. Blackburn Council have launched an urgent review of security following an arson attack at the Town Hall on Friday. Housing Benefits Officer Dennis Riley was seriously burned when a man poured petrol onto the floor and set it alight. This morning, councillors, officers and members of the injured man's union, NALGO, began a review of security throughout the Town Hall. A union spokesman says his members are often threatened by members of the public. Meanwhile, an inquest has been opened and adjourned at Blackburn Magistrates Court into the death of a 20-year-old man who fell 60 feet from a balcony at the weekend. Michael Rostron was due to be interviewed by police in connection with Friday's arson attack on Blackburn Town Hall. A full inquest will be held at a later date. A rider who crashed during practice for last week's Manx Grand Prix races has died in hospital. 47-year-old Colin Keith from Erskine in Scotland crashed at high speed at the end of last month and was taken to hospital in Douglas with arm and leg injuries. He was later transferred to Paisley General Hospital, where he died last night. Now look at the region's weather. It'll be a cloudy afternoon and evening with only the odd bright interval in Cheshire. Most places will remain dry, though there may be the odd shower over the Pennines. It'll feel quite warm, with afternoon temperatures near 18 degrees Celsius. Winds will be light to moderate and from an easterly direction. That's all for now, but do join Winifred Robinson and me for North West Tonight at 6:30 on BBC One. And of course, there are hourly news bulletins on your BBC local radio station.
In just over an hour's time, at 5 o'clock, Richard Widmark stars in a tense adventure in which the disappearance of an atomic scientist is curiously linked with communist activities in the Arctic, Hell and High Water. Now on 2 we return to Eddie Hemmings at the Waterloo.
We have probably the match of the day taking place here at the Waterloo. Barry Henstead against Ken Armitage. When you went away for the news, remember it was 17-16 in Henstead's favour. Well, it has now moved on to 17-all at the end of the 18th end, and we rejoin the commentary of Harry Rigby.
There you are. It's a nice view shot there. Somebody lost the razor blades. Well, this game's finally poised. Even now, 17 across. It's been an absolutely cracking match, this. There's been some great bowling in this game. Another one there from Armitage. Henstead's always tried to lick these, and he's done it again here if it stops. Might just go out. Oh, it's won it again. What a good ball. Armitage there plays a real spanking lead. Would think there was no chance really of getting that licked. He's played another. It's won it back, this. You put your house on this one. Won it a week. What a good ball.
Oh, it's been the best game of the day. Superb bowling throughout. Henstead's changed his peg, trying to take this ball out.
Armitage! One.
Well, I think these two lads, there's Barry Henstead coming up in red and Armitage, Kenny Armitage from Warrington at the back in green. I think these two are going to get some sort of applause when they come off, because they have played really well. Both players have led well and had good balls beaten. This has been a real nip and tuck match all the way through. Armitage has been leading good balls, Henstead coming up with a winner. Good stuff, this. Now it's getting a bit near home. Armitage just got his head in front, 18-17, and plays one roundabout. Touches the jack. Here it comes. Has he done it again? No, just gone out. Armitage down. Off after this. Trying to get another. Played. Gets one round the back, put it in right place.
Two, Barry, I think.
Looks like he's got a double. There's Barry Henstead there from Wigan inquiring about the state of the parties at that end. Got to find one here. Got to find one. He's nearly done it. He's done it again. He's done it. Searching. Oh, what a magnificent ball again from Henstead. Well, incredible. Both these players are really touching top form. Certainly brought the crowd on the boil, these. Bubbling away the audience here. Because they've got used to the idea now that good balls might not count here. Armitage had just planted one round the jack there, and Henstead came up with the last ball. Bang, out it goes. Henstead again, looking for a good lead. He knows he can't play him a mile off with this man Armitage, else he'll be in. Asking it to peg and get stopping now. He's led a good ball. Very good wood. Big hard swinging mark here. Just watch this wood now come down the hill, off the crown, start to kick now. And again, bit of a chance with the length, might be too far. It's gone out. Another real good shot here of Henstead down. Watch the little wave with the hand. There it goes. He's up and down. played another. Got to get another this.
2, Kenny.
Big problems here now for Armitage. Now, can he make the last ball do the work, as these lads have done for the last few ends? It's got a peg. It's a chance if it comes down the hill, works its way. It's nearly won it, this, for me. He's won it. Well, I don't know what's happened there. Yes, he's won it with that ball. What a great ball again. Well, this is some match. Again, Henstead couldn't be blamed if he thought, well, I'm look like being 20 at this end. I've got a very good ball and one that's just a good ball. And what happens? Armitage opens the magic box again and pulls one out. Let's give him a chance. It's the worst lead he's made for some time. It's a yard over. Henstead's been licking these sorts. And licking these, might be short. Oh, it might die. It's packed up, it's not 1-0. Oh, Henstead very disappointed. Going back, there's the ball on the right. Armitage looking to get another good ball here, but it's got enough pace on it. He wants the jack, he wants the jack. No, it's gone. Well, if Henstead licks one, he licks them both here. Here's the winner. Here's the winner. This is the one with the milk in it. That's the bad news. Breland. Well, it's going on and on, this match. Well, this has certainly been a game and a half for me. Thoroughly enjoyed this match, and I'm sure the spectators have really think they've had the money's worth here. Really played well, both Henstead and K Armitage here. Played some of the best balls I've seen playing at the Waterloo for some time. And he's led one. It's not a daft ball. It's gone down the hill a little bit, but there's plenty of them counted here at the Waterloo. Armitage has got to find one. Oh, they're asking it to run away. I think it's short. Condemned it from hand. Henstead only wants a couple for game. He's 19, counting one. Certainly get another. He lies up, they're not good uns. They've been beating balls inches off throughout the contest, these two, and now Henstead lies game. Armitage nearly played a winner. Misses his own ball. It's won it, this, for me. They've done it again. It's won it. What a marvellous ball. Well, it couldn't go any other way, this game. Couldn't go any other way. They've swapped ends over and over again. The last player each time pulling an absolutely superb winner out. Armitage has just done it again. Henstead did it on him. Then he did it back. So on it goes. Played some really great stuff. Wants a lead. Wants a lead. Run a bit. And again. Left a bit of room. To live and let live bell, that. He's licked all these sort. Oh, he'll have to run. He'll have to run. Oh, what a beautiful road and all. Let's give up. He needed to lick that lead because he's in his own road now. coming having a look at these Armitage. He knows it's at a vital stage. He only wants one to get out. The game. Doesn't want to hit the short ball on the right, but could certainly do with playing one a little bit nearer than the other. Try and get in on the bottom. He's played up. He doesn't want to hit the short ball. Don't hit that. Played one. Played one. Yes. Now then, can he do it again? Can this Henstead find out a wonder ball here? Because that's what they've been doing. Well, it's a chance. It's a chance if it gets the back. Ball's gone out. Weighed in. Armitage has won after a great game. Really tremendous match. Barry Henstead there, the loser, but certainly not disgraced. This has been a great bowls match. Terrific game. Kenny Armitage is the winner, 21-19.
Well, if you've been with us since 10 o'clock this morning, I don't think you'll be complaining about the entertainment from the Waterloo this year. Another superb match, Kenny Armitage through 21-19, which leaves us just the last match to go then, and it's Larry Wells against Peter Fielding. Let's have a look at Larry Wells. He's 40 years young, from Warrington and the Rylands Club, and he plays Peter Fielding, a 35-year-old sales rep from the Boers Hill Park Club in Rochdale. And the match is in progress. There's the score. Commentary, just one end played, and commentary comes from Mike Leach and Harry Rigby again.
Larry Wells from Warrington from Rylands Rec. Scored at the first end in yellow. There behind him is a former Waterloo semi-finalist, Peter Fielding from Rochdale. They're both on 5. The game 21 up. Good lead from Wells. Certainly spurred on a little bit by the performances of his fellow townie in the earlier round. Kenny Armitage, who won a classical game against Barry Henstead. Wells just tapping the turf with his foot at the back there. He's got to be stopping any time. Stopped in. 2 good balls.
15 inches behind that one. You're almost a length.
Touch something, he's just tapped it, but whether it counts, certainly having a look there. Fielding likes it, or have they taken the winner out? Another quarter looking at. No, Fielding won. Got the chalk.
Very important ball that for Peter Fielding. 2 good woods against him, needed to count. Crowd is still buzzing from the last game, really, which was certainly a game of absolute top-class quality.
Marvellous. Thoroughly enjoyed it, Mike, all the way through. The balls that were beaten and then beaten again. Terrific match. And now we'll watch these lads as they're also vying for a place in the last 16, the 7th round match. Doing the trip, there's good ball, excellent ball. Got 2 firewoods here, one about 10 inches and one about 2 foot. Wells now has got to find one. Short. Still running, but it won't get in the frame, this. Might just save one, but that's all.
Fielding, one.
Peter Fielding certainly seems to play this green well. Featured prominently in this competition. Obviously feels confident on the green. Obviously decided corners is the game.
Runs another yard, it'll be a good ball. Just loitering a little bit on its way to the jack, and now stopped about 3.5 foot short. It's nice just to have a look at Wells when he sends the ball. Beats a little tattoo on the green with the back of his foot, and he's promoted it, but gone round the top side, won it. A double rub. I think he may well have counted the end here.
Just like that, Peter.
Yes. Got the benefit of the inquiry there, and the referee, Terry Ashcroft, fancies the yellow ball. Nice. Got to run. Got to run. Loitering now, 1-0. Just watch Wells here as he sends this ball. Watch the back foot. Just a little tap. No, he's picked the mat up a bit quick this time and not bothered.
Yes, certainly, yeah. Thanks, please.
Well, Terry.
Wells again. Led one. Roundabout. Take a good ball to beat it. He's got to get one round that short ball. He's on nice land. The pace looks right, but he might just falter now and go into the ball. No, he's won it. Got round the corner very nicely there. Ooh, he might be a bit on the narrow side. And short. Nearly a brace. Get your pencil ready here for a double. Two good balls.
Two.
Looks like he's going to have a look at the other corners now. Giving it some thought. He's really putting the jack in a difficult place now for this peg. Nothing for two back. If he gets an inch to back, it'll hold and hold. Played a good bowl. Larry Wells given this some thought as to whether or not to change his peg, I think. And that's just what he's decided to do. Much easier way in. Has he got the pace right?
Sat it.
Not quite.
Oh, half ball. Might only have one here. Terry
Only one.
Ashcroft confirms that with a call from the back. Wells, watch the foot.
Bad mistake if he's
Not
only
done
one. Giving him a chance to play through.
He's played at it, missed it,
Peter Fielding building up a lead here, 10-7. Back in the corner. As far as he dares go, really, without risking throwing the jack off. Rules are, of course, if you throw the jack off, you lose it. Your opponent sets the mark, so there's a substantial penalty if you do.
Short. Just led short. Give Wells a little bit of room to play with, and he sent this ball far enough. This has won it. Good ball, this. Won't be far away from the jack when it stops. Good ball. Well, this'll do the trick. No doubt. To miss this short ball, it has some sort of a chance. Oh, unlucky, it might even win it now. No, give up. Again, Wells galloping after this wood. He knows it's got some sort of a chance. Misses that short ball, he's promoted it. Done the damage there, Mike. It was always on, wasn't it? The way they lay.
Well, I don't think he thought it was possible from where he was. Looking from 50 yards away, he probably thought that Peter Fielding's wood was directly behind his own and that he couldn't knock it past. It's a very unlucky bowl.
Yes, he might have been better asking for a bit of information there, really. But it was an unlucky ball because it was a really good ball, but it got a cruel bump at the end of it.
Yeah, and it's made the difference between 9-10 and his jack and 11-7 and still in the corners.
Short, well short there, Fielding. And now Wells to that unfortunate collision at the last end, which robbed him of asserting 2 chalks. He's got to try and retrieve the situation. Won it. Fielding got to send it. It's got to run yet. It's got to go a long way this ball yet before it wins. And again a bit more. And again. Fielding thinks that that ball has won. Had a good long hard look at them, but he's indicated he fancies his own ball to be on. Again, he might be unlucky and go through the gap and miss everything.
Fielding! Well,
Peter Fielding really starting to play now. Good second bowl. Larry Wells' first bowl was good enough to count. Now 12-7, having been 7-all. And every end that passes now with Peter Fielding with the jack, Larry Wells will be cursing himself for knocking him in 2 ends ago. And this is a bit of a surprise. He's changed his peg to this corner now. He's gone thumb peg. He's made a good lead on a very long, difficult mark. Larry Wells has not hesitated to change his peg.
Larry let this ball go and gave the foot the little fandango at the back, tapping the turf nervously, but it's just died.
give up! Only one. You're a bare yard short, you.
Glenn.
Well, this is a good lead. Larry Wells, having got in, broken the run, decided to go back in the corners. Brave tactic. One everybody applauds if it works and condemns if it doesn't.
It just died, that. They look alike. Looks the near dead heat to me, that, but it's hard to say. Yes, it's second to blue ball. Fielding second there. Wells, the ball on the left. Is the ball that's been nominated by the referee, but he thinks he's into the end again. He's done it again. Oh, he's done it again. It's like father should have a red jacket and some white whiskers on this lad, Mike. He's been giving him presents away all through the game.
I don't
know. I can't believe it.
Oh, he looks absolutely sick. And Peter Fielding's come the other peg to make sure he doesn't do the same.
Fielding! One!
It's easy to criticise that ball, but he had to play up. The woods probably weren't good enough to count, and the margin of error was between hitting that ball and hitting his own was about 5 inches between the two woods at 55 yards away. Anyway, for the time being, he's forced Peter Fielding out of that corner. He's now coming a long round peg down the edge. This way is heavy. He could catch Larry Wells with the pace of this mark, because it is a push to get here. Caught himself a bit as well.
He's played a bit short. He's got to shove him out up here. Right, just nap him along this side, even so, because Wells might be short. Could easily be short on this piece, but he's played far enough and won it. A good ball.
That's an excellent ball, considering how disappointed he must be with the last end. Peter Fielding's turn to change his peg. Gone straight peg, trying to pick the wood out. You can see he's close to it. Done it. What a goal.
Yeah, that was a superb ball there from Peter Fielding.
Now Larry Wells has to do the same. He has to play exactly the same ball that Peter Fielding's just played. Is he on the same land? Nearly made 2. If he takes the jack, it's 2.
Brilliant. Brilliant ball. Great end, that. Now Wells, where are you going to go? A long way. Looking across the green at the corners. Stretched it a long way, right in the corner almost. As Wells, just watch, keep your eye on the back foot. Might give it the little, yes, there it goes, little rat-a-tat on the green just to send it on its way. And again, run away, and again. Bit of room to work in there for Fielding. Oh, here's the ball of Fielding's. Nipped away on the bottom. He'll go a long way now. It can't count this. Turned away, Fielding.
been an interesting change of tactics in this game. Peter Fielding starting, going for the corners. Now it's Larry Wells going for them. And he's going to be lying in here with 2. A Goodwood's on the mark. Very easy to narrow, as Peter did with his first bowl. Has he reached with this one? That's the question.
Still going, but it might be short. It's loitering a bit now. Can't win nothing this.
It's tippled over. It might just have got second with falling over there.
Yes, I think he's only going to draw place money here, Mike. He certainly couldn't win with it. It was loitering. Here's 2 future ends. The year 2000, I don't know whether it'll be around, but I hope I am when they get in the ladies' final.
I think you're just second, just against you for second, Peter. Wells, 2.
No, it hadn't got second. No hesitation, Peter Fielding there. Conceded 2. And back in the corners.
Oh, a big long mark again. Paid off there for Wells. Took a trip in the country and came up with the bonus. 2. Close end, but he got it. There's the foot, tapping away at the back, helping the ball on.
He usually does that, Harry, when he thinks he's played a good ball. It's only a yard overplayed, really.
It's gone on 3.5 foot perhaps, but it's not bad from where it's come. Coming a long way.
They are. The mark Tommy Johnston plays so well, this mark.
Coming down the hill. Got to run this ball. It's loitering now. It's won it, but I don't know. Might have just give up. Hard to tell.
Doesn't matter, Harry. Larry Wells will probably knock it in.
There you are. There's the tapper. That's why he's not got much cap left on that shoe. He's played that many good balls in this game.
We have
got to reach. Oh, he's left it. Left it on the mat. Now Peter Fielding.
This has won it easily, this ball. Good ball. 1, possibly 2. Larry Wells taking the balls out.
The top ball's in.
Having a good look.
That one. Yeah.
Terry Ashcroft saying that he thinks it's probably 2.
Just like the back one.
No, now he's changed his mind. He thinks it's only 1.
Yeah.
Wells waiting there for any extra helpings that might be coming along. If he's going to get anything out of it, it might be only 1. Yes, he saved 1 there.
Very decisive with his judgment, Peter Fielding. Doesn't believe in calling measures on unnecessarily. That's the last 2 ends. It's obviously been close.
He's whacked it out now. Gone a long way with this jack. Again, across the green, cutting the green almost in half. There's
butterfly on the jack.
Yes, I just fancied it a little bit, that's all. It must have favoured one of the moths of that species. He spotted the big brother now, the butterfly. There's the ball, finished its roll.
Turned his back on that, Larry. Doesn't like that at all. Narrowed, short, everything wrong with it.
Maybe just sussed him out on this piece, cutting the crown of the green, coming across the top, then down. Take a little bit of speed up now. Take it down the hill. It's a good ball, that's missing the short ball. Reeling.
Well, he's playing at them. It's not struck.
After the jack, actually.
Oh, he's close.
Is it some chance this guy?
Close, missing.
Past the short ball. Oh.
Fielding. 2.
two bad ends there for Larry Wells. He was unlucky with that last ball, but he just had to skim that ball to win the end.
Peter Fielding, 4 in front. 35-year-old sales representative Peter has been bowling for a number of years. Waterloo semi-finalist in 1986 and won the Greater Manchester Park Senior Merit in the same year. And his club, of course, is Pessal Park and Rochdale.
Good lead. Playing well now.
Just let a real Pessal Park bell there, bit adjacent to the jack.
Well, the land's right. Will he go out? Will it clip the jack? Well, it's clipped it and gone out. Unlucky.
Just drifted by. Everybody shouting the bad news to Larry. Just gone. The run. And again. A little bit more. Stop any time now. Looks like a double. Waiting for the news. Confirmed his worst fears there. Peter Fielding lies 2.
He's after this ball. Likes it, but it may go over the top. Yes.
Fielding, 2.
Just taking command of this game at an absolutely crucial time, Peter Fielding. Now 18-12. We've seen some recoveries today. Certainly the game's not lost yet.
Played a good ball. Oh, what a ball that from Fielding. Now playing with great confidence. Just pinched a few chalks to get a mile in front now. 18-12, 21 up the game. Led a real one. It's just short this.
Give up, Larry.
Just try and get another one here now. Then he can go for the kill at the next end. Fielding again. And again. Far enough. Far enough. Just sneak one if he misses the short ball. Oh, may have still got one.
Counted off it. Terry Ashcroft told Larry that he's 2 down. Very important bowl this. 20-12 if he doesn't beat these. Well, the land not absolutely right. Just pegging out. Might get second.
I think he's only one here, Mike. I'm sure. I think he's going to pick it up. Yes, it's saved. Now he can go for game, Fielding. Only wants 2 for up, 21 up the game, and Fielding now leads 19-12 over Larry Wells from Warrington. Another long mark here from Fielding. And another good lead. Round about the jack. Good lead, that. Not an easy mark. Get a little bit in the bottom there. They can slip away. Got to run this. Got to run. Has a chance of being a winner. Might just go through missing the jack. He's done it. One off it. Good ball.
Certainly needed that bit of luck. I think it would have gone out missing.
Oh, it would, yes. It just copped it half ball there, Mike, and he's tried to play another winner. He's done it. Licked him again. What a great ball, this. There's the bowling academy. Good shot there of all the masters.
Yes.
All the degree holders at bowls there lined up, Mike.
All the experts, yes, who haven't got this far in the competition. Well, he's decided to play through at this. Chance to cut it out if he hits it. Missed it, though. Difficult mark to play through on.
Well, fielding now wants one chalk to get into the last 16. It's in the 7th round match against Larry Wells of Warrington. Wells 7 apiece and then fell behind gradually as Fielding played some very, very good balls on these 40-45 yard marks across the green. Wants a good lead here to take him through. Far enough. If it just runs another big yard, it'll be a fair ball this when it's finished. Just round about. See if this lad Wells can lick it.
It's certainly on good land. Oh, he's played a good ball here. Would have been easy for him to give up. I think the game's lost. Played an excellent ball. Peter Fielding chasing after it. Is perhaps an inch narrow. Can he take the jack or not? No.
Well, a lucky rub there, really. Wants the jack full, really, to carry it past the yellow ball. But it just cast the wrong way. Looking for another, this lad, but I'm afraid he's too far back. Oh, I hope she finishes that balaclava for me before the winter comes on, Mike. She's been at it for a while. It's not home comforts, is it? No, never mind, love. I'll count them for you afterwards.
She doesn't seem to have made much progress with it, Harry.
21 she's got on. She's just got up on the knitting needle. She counted 21 stitches.
Wells decided to come back into the corners, but come the other peg. Had a very good lead.
Good ball. Just round the back.
Not giving up.
Still sticking at it. He knows that if Fielding digs one out here, he could be in trouble, and he's not a mile away with this, but he's in the bottom. Can't win. Played another. Pace is right. Come a long way yet. Yeah, might just get another one in the frame. 2.
Well, if he counts these, he's back in the game. You see plenty of games won from 15-20 down.
Just watch this one coming down the hill. Mike, is there any chance? Got a bit of a chance.
Every chance.
Bit of a chance. Just gone out and left the brace. Beautiful road, but just overplayed.
That was a well-played wood. But it's 15-20. Can't afford to make any mistakes now, Larry Wells. But he can be up in 3 ends.
Don't make a bad lead, really. Don't give Fielding too much room to work in, but he's played a decent ball. If it runs on another yard, be a fair ball this when it stops. Just a big yard short. Not an easy mark. Little bit of a gully down, and they kick up and fall away against the peg when they stay on the bottom. He's short. Run a long way, but it's dying. Dying, can't get in. Luke's near, but it's second.
Now, if Larry can play another now, the pressure changes. But has he reached? Has he reached to get to?
Might just limp home this. No, it's packed up for me.
That's a bad ball.
Might have a smack at that one, Fielding. No, he's played. Trying to go out in glory here, Fielding, playing a winner. Bit of a chance. Bit of a chance. Bit of a chance, not stopped yet. Gone out for me. Too much pace behind that jack.
16-20. Peter knows there, you could see from his expression, he knows he had a big chance to win there. Will he get another chance as good? Back into the corner, finger peg again, where he counted two such good bowls last time.
Well, the lead's vital. Got to play one roundabout. Can't leave too much room. He knows that no margin for error now for Wells, because Fielding's 20. Just wants one more shot. Run away. Run away. And again. Keep going. Nearer and nearer, but still about 3.5 foot short of the jack. See if Fielding can find the winner. Certainly far enough. Far enough. This might just creep in, unless he hits the short ball. Give up. A roll short. Wells inquiring.
It's amazing, an end or two without the jack on these corners, and Wood's 3'6" off look virtually unbeatable. Now,
is he going to
he's
knock
played
Fielding
one
in again?
No, he's played a brilliant ball this time. Counts these, the game's close. At least Peter Fielding now, he must reach.
Bit of a hum in the crowd.
It's underneath.
He's on the bottom side. Left a double. 2 certain.
18-20. Well, we saw a ladies' match earlier. One from 2016 down. This game's been 2012. And now it's 18-20.
Wells in the middle of a nice break now. He's made 6 on the bounce. Looking to find the other 3 to take him out after an amazing recovery here. Looked on the floor and gone 12-20 behind. And now definitely back in this match. Plays the ball. Long way. Looking for a decent lead. Nice pace. Lovely pace. If he's on the road, it can't be a long way off the jack when it stops. Very little. Only a big yard over, that's all. It's a bit quick down there. Not a daft ball. Fielding now. Peter Fielding. Still looking for the elusive one to take him into the last 16, and he's found it. Found it.
Well, he lies up.
That's it. It's got to be licked.
But if Larry Wells licks this, there'll be a cheer.
Is he there? Is he there? It's loitering. Not going to get there. Still going. Still going. They've wrote it off. It might get in. Packed up second, and he's out. Peter Fielding's just won after a great rally from Wells. Fielding of Rochdale wins 21-18 against Larry Wells of Warrington.
Well, my word, that was quite a fight back, wasn't it? But Peter Fielding making it in the end by 21-18. And I rather fancy at one stage there he must have been getting very, very nervous as Larry Wells came back from 12-20 down. But he made it in the end, Noel. No problems at the end of the day.
Yeah, Larry Wells, he just let him off the hook at that last end. If he could have played a couple of good bowls, then he might well have beaten Peter.
As you see the tape coming up and you've got 20 on the board and the other fella's way behind, and then he starts pegging away at your lead, what sort of things go through your mind then?
Well, you think, are you ever going to score again? And you're just hoping he's going to play a bad one. And you can just sneak one in. Well, it can get to you, even if they need 4 or 5 chalks. If you've had a big lead and they've clawed their way back, the panic button starts going.
Even on the park green, I would imagine it's a little bit nervous. Never mind a place like this.
That's right, yes. Anywhere you play, people start coming back at you, and you know.
Nervous times.
That's right.
Well, let's have a look at how today has mapped out. Here are the results, and right at the bottom there, last but by no means least, Peter Fielding is through to the last 16. We've had a great day's bowling here, though, beginning with Jeremy Muff, who got through against Frank Rathall in the very first match that we featured at 10 o'clock this morning, 21-20. Those two set the standards, and the rest have followed. They have done really well for us, and we say congratulations now to Peter Fielding, a man, I think, Peter, who must be breathing a sigh of relief after that, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. At one stage I seemed to have it well in hand, and then all at once you lose the jack, and Larry started playing some good balls and struggled to get the last one.
What were you thinking about there? Was it nerves that were playing their part there, or you just couldn't get hold of the jack?
No, it wasn't nerves. It was just that, as I say, when you lose the jack, he just come down into this corner, which I'd been playing quite well, but he started coming the other peg and just going that yard or two further, and I just sort of lost my length with it. I was on the road more often than not, but it was just the length that was letting me down.
You had a long time to wait, haven't you, to be fair, before you got out there?
Yes, it's a long day, really, waiting from 10 o'clock this morning till last game.
Well done, congratulations, and you're through into the last 16 tomorrow.
That's right.
And we'll look forward to seeing you then, and another long wait perhaps.
Yes, I should think it will be. Last again.
Okay, well, this is how tomorrow's matches will pan out. This is the draw for the last 16. Here we are. Well, in a moment they will be here. I can tell you that Roy Armson and Robert Eaton will be leading us off tomorrow. But you know, tomorrow is a day when we have a couple of former champions in action. And there is the last 16, finally. Armson and Eaton leading us off. As I say, a couple of former champions there tomorrow. Tommy Johnson, a winner in 1985. He will figure in the second match of the day in the morning. And a little later on, we have Mr. Waterloo himself, Brian Duncan, the tournament favourite now at 4-1. He'll face Norman Leach. Duncan aiming for title win number 4. Well, let's refresh our memories, shall we, of Brian Duncan's last win here. It was the 1987 final against Robert Eaton. We join the match in the 15th end. Duncan leads by 16-11, and it's Brian Duncan to lead off in the sunshine.
Duncan in full flight. Certainly wants to get this one far enough. It's going down the hill again. Running on. Gets another. 2 more absolute killer balls down. They want licking. Very difficult mark. And there's the crowd now realising they may be seeing history in the making. Now, can he run and bring the house down if he can get on the card with this?
Duncan, 2.
Duncan there now must be poised to become the first man ever to win this title 3 times. He won it in 1979, beating Alan Broadhurst. Another Wigan man, lives at Aspel. And he won it again last year, beating Jeff Sykes from Yorkshire. And this year it looks as though he's going to do the hat-trick by beating a young man from Cheshire who's been an absolute sensation of this handicap, and there he is. Robert Eaton. Duncan, another inevitable double. Looks like getting the big ovation. He's short. Short now. Roberts just lost his length a little bit. Oh, he's looking away, but there's the young man. He's had an absolutely marvellous tournament. Just failed at the final hurdle, but who could be expected to shift this man Duncan? Duncan looking for one. Good lead. Good lead, that. Again, a difficult mark down the hill. To be stopping after stops in the bottom, nearly in the ditch. Just staggering along, and off it goes. Duncan now just poised, waiting for the accolade. The first man ever to win this title 3 times. Lies game. The young man from Holmes Chapel in Cheshire has astounded everybody here with his wonderful play. Laying out. Oh, just missed and gone through the gap. And Brian Duncan has weighed in to win the Waterloo for the 3rd time, beating Robert Eaton from Holmes Chapel in Cheshire, 21-11.
A great day for Brian Duncan, beating Robert Eaton there, who in actual fact opens the batting here tomorrow morning. It's Robert Eaton against Roy Armson, and we've then got the 2 former winners to come later on in the day. Now, Eaton against Armson looks a difficult match, Noel Burrows.
Certainly does, yes. Of course, Roberts, even though despite his tender years, he's very experienced on this green now. So too is Roy Armson. He's been at this stage a few times. My pair's partner as well. So I'll obviously be rooting for Roy.
So you'll be having a tickle on him, will you?
I certainly will, yes.
And then Brian Duncan, Mr. Waterloo, aiming for an unprecedented 4 titles here.
Well, he's got it all to do, of course, Brian, because he has to give everybody 4 starts. With having won it twice in the past 3 years, you are deducted 2 points when you win the tournament. So he's got it all to do. He still could do it.
You think so?
He's got this far again.
Yes. Tommy Johnson then, later on, he comes in as well. But actually, he's 2nd match on, isn't he?
That's right. Well, Tommy Johnson's also won the Spring Waterloo tournament. Very experienced again on this green, and it takes a lot of stopping.
Somewhere in there is the 1989 champion. Where would your money be? Because you're an ex-winner yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You should know all about it.
I know. I'm beginning to forget, though. It's a long time ago.
72, wasn't it?
1972, that's right.
Long, long time ago.
Well, Brian Duncan is the bookie's favourite. I think he's got it all to do to make it again. After that, I've got to go for Tommy Johnson.
OK, there we are. So that's Noel Burrows' decision. So we have a champion day ahead of us tomorrow when 2 former winners will be in action. If today's action is anything to go by, You'll be very silly to miss it. Our coverage begins tomorrow morning, BBC 2, 10 o'clock. Goodbye from Blackpool till then.